Well, hi everybody, and welcome back to Impi, your friendly catamaran. So those of you who follow our travels will know that we are a couple sailing around the world, having left South Africa many years ago now. We are currently sailing in this beautiful place called New Caledonia. We had visited the east coast, as you will recall, a place called Yengen, and this particular video covers some of our trip down the east coast. We hope you enjoy. Now, as we depart Yengen, let me just say that these rock formations around the entire area are just truly amazing. Folks watching our videos ask us to leave the camera rolling from time to time, since they appreciate the varying landscapes. And here along the east coast of New Caledonia, this is exactly what we will do. We will let the camera roll and make this more about you seeing the east coast of New Caledonia through our eyes. Now, of course, the east coast is less frequented than that of the western coastal line of New Caledonia, and really much of the establishment of days gone by has been in decline ever since. Here we sail past what is now referred to as the Old Club Med, and to be correct is actually called Le Koua. So from these impressive rock cliffs and their sparkling beaches and palm trees, the east coast changes in landscape from one region to the next, but no matter the change, what remains an intriguing experience is just how majestic the mountain ranges are. Yeah, so cruising down the coast, we arrived in this little reef-sheltered anchorage off a village called Toua. Now, Toua is one of the oldest communities in New Caledonia, with a mission established by the French in 1853 and a military post in 1864. Yeah, so the bay here at Toua has many reef systems. One needs to be careful coming in here. However, the port of Toua has recently been built like a little marina to provide shelter for the local fishing fleet and for passing yachts. Good shelter with many things to offer, like good drinking water on the wharf for a start, and a little post office, telephone service, restaurant, fuel, and so on can be obtained here in Toua. So we arrived in Toua with a line which had come loose in the rigging. You know, now the handy thing about a skipper having a first mate as a yoga instructor is that she gets to climb the mast to sort these issues out. I think this footage provides one with a perspective of how big the stack pack is on catamarans. The stack pack being that blue canvas section you see here, and it's there to contain and protect the mainsail when stowed from wind and UV rays of the sun. Now, speaking of our beautiful first mate here, let me at this point in the video get Anna to share some of the information about this beautiful little village.
is not only famous for its mission and its military fort, but more importantly, it is famous for its first official mixed marriage in 1870 between a European man and a Melanesian woman. A colonial pine was planted at the entrance of the port to commemorate this event. And up to this day, currently in the village, 5% of the people are of mixed race. This leads me to actually talk a little bit about the populations in New Caledonia. Here on the east coast, a large percentage of the population is Kanak, about 85% in this particular village. But we also have people who come from Japan originally, from Vietnam, from Wallis and Futuna, from Tahiti, and from Vanuatu. And rather than to make a political issue of it in true French style, the French make money out of this diversity through a t-shirt factory called Le Tricot Rayé. Now, the Tricot Rayé, you may know from our previous movies, is actually the stripy snake, which is very common in New Caledonia. So somebody with some imagination merged the demography of New Caledonia with its various populations into a concept which has been very successful. So what they've done actually is they have taken the nicknames for the people and created those into snake-like creatures. For example, the funniest one for me is the French metropolitan, who's called les oreilles. Literally that means the ears, because they were perceived as spies in the not so distant past. And here's an example of one of the creatures on a t-shirt, les oreilles. The Kanak people, you can see a difference between the traditional Kanak people called le pilou, after the dances that they do, and le rasta, which is the dreadlocked version of the tricot rayé that you see here. So Toua has a mixture of all of these populations.
So we took the dinghy shopping. Supplies at Toua are pretty basic, but sufficient enough for restocking the boat. One needs to be aware of the tides, so as not to be stuck out there on the sand. So an overnight stay for us was sufficient enough, and it was time to keep moving, to be moving south again.
Woohoo! Home at last!
Yeah, and of course, the thing about going southeast in southeasterly winds, which are the predominant winds here, is that, one is in head-on winds and in lumpy seas. So, not such a great trip going south. Well, you will have to excuse the bumpy camera work here. It's not easy to have a steady hand in these conditions. However, I am sure it shows our surprise at how heavily mined the coast has become. It really reminds us of the mining devastation along the western coast of South Africa, and sadly one can see that this must have taken a huge toll on the lagoon system too. So, speaking of mining, we now approach a little mining town called Koua, and immediately as we approach it, we are greeted by the presence of a large ship taking on nickel supplies here.
Sailing into the village of Koua, quite funnily, this has got so many vowels in this word. It's an O, a U, a O, a U, and A. So when I was trying to pronounce it, I would say something like Koua, but really it is pronounced Koua, and it lies on the river Koua. There are about 30 Kanak languages in New Caledonia, and our friend Pierre Christophe, who is a prof at the New Caledonian University, teaches some of these languages and explores the cultures associated with them.
Well, arriving here, it is immediately apparent as to why this is referred to as a mining town. Apart from the signs of scarred mountains where huge mining equipment has cut its teeth into the earth, there is this hustle and bustle of activity everywhere. Huge iron gantries and conveyor feeds can be seen from miles out, and initially one feels to be an industrial harbour of sorts. One wonders if there's any beauty in this place. But then on the opposite shore, the eastern shore, the mountains and the valleys, the lush texture of the vegetation, it makes one feel like, yeah, this is beautiful, man. We actually take Impi into this cove and we try to set anchor here. Unfortunately, the seafloor is so hard, it's just hard rock, and try as we may, we just could not find a spot where the anchor would engage for what would have been a delightful place. Now chased us onward to the recommended shore, alongside the mining conveyor feed head, along with all the activity and the bustle of the little town there.
So the town of Koua in the local Maya language is called Koua and has been franchised to Koua. Here in Koua we have nickel exploitation since 1890, and this was supported by the discovery of saprolite. Saprolite is like a loose rock full of nickel, which has been separated from the mother rock due to chemical reaction, which makes it very easy to exploit. And so you see here a picture of the nickel mines with the longest transporter belt in the world, called the Serpentine, which takes the loose material from the mine to the port.
Okay, so we've arrived in a bay on the east coast of New Caledonia called Koua. I think that's how you pronounce it, Koua. I want you to pronounce it Koua because I'm used to Koua Island in New Zealand. But Anna said no, Brent, remember it's Koua.
Actually, no, that's not cool. We actually pronounce this Koua.
No, Koua.
Oh, Koua. Okay, it's pronounced Koua.
Yeah, we anchored in that little bay. And it was spectacular in there. I mean, really beautiful. That little bay over there. And the mountain was just magnificent. And on that ridge over there, there's just incredibly beautiful plants and things. I've never seen such a florist of natural flowers. But we couldn't stay there. The anchor was just skidding along rock. You know, we tried everything to get the anchor to take. So we pulled into this part of the bay. Hey, no worries, baby. It's all good. A flower just entered into this picture.
Just very mundane, trying to get the rubbish.
Yeah, and you can see there's a conveyor feed over there. So this is a mining town. You can actually see that they've been mining in the top of the mountain there. This town boasts having the longest curved conveyor system in the southern hemisphere, at least. It goes on for miles. And the bay is beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful here. But unfortunately, when you look up into the mountains, you see a lot of damage from mining, man. Yeah, and Anna's been in the front hatch gathering rubbish. You know, unfortunately we gather rubbish on these things and we need to take it and throw it away somewhere. So, not a nice chore, but...
Too many plastic containers.
Too many plastic containers. So there we are. Dinghy's in the water already, and we're ready to go and see what shops and things. We want to stock up the boat. We had a nice calm night last night, a terrible journey up here yesterday, didn't we, love? It was really bumpy and wild.
Those are the days I don't want to sail anymore.
Anna says those are the days she doesn't want to sail anymore. Oh, it's not nice. We were really bouncing the whole day. It was bumpy as anything. But here we are. We had a very calm night, and it's calm this morning, and we're wondering if it's going to be as calm out there. They don't predict calm weather today, and we're not going to go and take on rough conditions today, beating our brains up upwind. So let's get into the town. We're going to stock up the boat. We're going to try and do an overnight passage if possible, with the winds calming, and try and get back down to the south part of this island. So let's get to town.
Yeah, well, getting into the little river system off the main Koua river is deceiving. Some locals working at the conveyor head waved directions after we collided with a sandbank. So the trick, the locals tell us, is to cruise right alongside the edge of the rock wall.
Ah, yes. Yeah, so one has to come in right against the conveyor belt and along this rock wall, because Anna and I sailed right into a sandbank over here. There's Impi at the back, sandbank over here.
Don't go too shallow now. It's going shallow here. Go a little bit out. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
So let's pause the dinghy here in the river a while, and let's provide another perspective of the anchorage here where Impi is anchored. So it's a good idea to check tidal forecasts before coming up here. The bank is rock boulder which could damage the underside of the dinghy. Well, we set a stern anchor and dropped one into a large earth mover tyre along the shore.
Well, here we are. We've got to go and find a shop now. We thought, looking on Google Earth, this looked like quite a big building and looked like it would be the shop, but it's actually a dentist. Yeah, so that's a dentistry, and I don't need my teeth done. You want some teeth work done, love? Mind you, you got such healthy teeth. It's not a problem. Yeah, and now we just got to find a shop, man. What's down here? I wonder if it wouldn't be on the main road, which is one road back. I don't know. I'm just guessing. What are you seeing there, love? That's the shop through there at the back. Ah. Yeah, that looks like it, eh?
And here is a building.
Oh, that's a long way. So we can throw our rubbish here?
Yeah.
Okay, and we can buy our goodies here? Okay.
I wasn't too bad in my map reading.
Your map reading was very good, because I was a little lost there. Bonjour. Ah, we have a shop. So why are we looking at this material?
This is money. This is what you traditionally give when you arrive.
Okay, so Anna's saying that's the materials which you traditionally give to the chiefs when you arrive to visit them.
See.
And
So-
what do they cost here?
1,895. We have cucumbers, apples, grapes, pears, carrots.
So, I do not like shopping, but I like eating. And the thing about shopping is you could see where we parked the dinghy. So it's a long walk. We have to carry everything to the dinghy, load everything up from the dinghy onto the boat, and then unpacks it all away into its spaces. Ah, we found dog food for Moose.
Shall I take that?
Yes, we need to get Moose some dog food.
It's heavy though.
Yeah. Ah, some dog food for Moose again.
Bag of chicken, I think.
A bag of chicken.
Yeah.
We do need water. We're not drinking the other water.
Oh, I don't think it's very good for you.
Oh, we were in Yengen.
Yeah, and I said we had a really hard time coming down.
Mm.
These are very nice, these prints on the school.
Yeah.
So they felt sorry for us.
Ah, shame.
Yeah, because they're saying at the moment the sea isn't very nice.
Yeah. So here we are. We are now pack horse donkeys, as you can see. No, I'm also carrying like a big rucksack. I've got dog food. I think 8 bottles of water and camera equipment.
Yeah,
Anna's carrying baguettes, chips.
yeah, it's really a shame we have to buy water.
Good morning, how you doing? Yeah, so, Anna was saying it's a shame we have to buy water, but, we have a Watermaker on board and we make lots of water. I mean, we actually arrived yesterday and, we washed the boat down. Yeah, quite a nasty upwind sail the whole day, just bashing into weather and waves flying over the top of the boat, so salt everywhere. But we've arrived and we're very happy to be here, and we've used the fresh water. We made a lot of fresh water along the way because we knew we wanted to clean the boat when we got here, so we've used our hose to clean the boat up nicely, and yeah, so it feels all fresh again and it's great. I mean, the mountains here are just incredible, very beautiful. So we use a lot of water, but the issue with Watermaker water for cruises is that it desalinates to such an extent that it takes all the goodness out of the water too. So any sort of minerals or anything like that get removed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Look at all these grapefruits on
and
the
we're
floor.
getting distracted as we walk because there's a lot of grapefruits on the ground, and yeah, so the place obviously has a lot of fruits.
There comes a bucket.
And now we have a car coming along. But the thing with Watermaker water is that all the goodness is removed from it. So instead of replenishing the body, it actually tends to dehydrate the body. It takes the goodness out of one's body and transfers it to the water, as it were. So one can actually get dehydrated.
Not just dehydrated, but decalcified. So particularly for women who are already at risk of osteoporosis,
Yeah.
because you don't have enough calcium, so you get brittle bone disease, especially when you've had several children. It actually takes the calcium out of your body and increases the risk which is why you can't just, as a woman, you can't just live off Watermaker water unless you add minerals into it. And we have looked in many places and never found these supposed minerals that you have to add into it.
Yeah, so we've been told, you know, that you can buy little sachets of minerals to add into your water, and we've been looking around as we travel and we haven't really discovered them.
No.
Look at that palm tree.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the long and the short of it is we have to now and again, we do drink water from the Watermaker, but we have to have proper water or sort of purchased water in between. Well, I'm glad the walk isn't too long, because I'm getting weighted down with this dog food and water, man. And Anna's been very strict on me. I'm not allowed any pain au chocolat today or anything like that. You know, I've got a sugar condition, diabetic, type 2 luckily, but yeah, it's running a bit high this morning, so no pain au chocolat for me today, man. I think he's still there. It's just up against the rocks, I think.
Cool, baby.
Clambering over rocks here.
Okay, I'll take this and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay. So Anna's off to throw the rubbish away. And that's the thing, you know, one has to get out of the dinghy, go and discover where rubbish bins are, to throw the rubbish, do your shopping, come back, remember where the rubbish bin was. A little distance away, unfortunately. A lot of the time you find rubbish bins pretty close to where you tie up. But yeah, if one reads information from other cruisers about getting to the shop, you don't hear about this river, strangely enough. I saw it on Google Earth and thought I'm going to try that. You actually have to walk across that bridge. So what they do is they tie up on the far shore and they walk across the bridge down to the cafe. I don't fancy carrying stuff that far.
Well, there we go. Shopping done, rubbish disposed of. Not sure if all you guys wanted to see this stuff, but many people say they do, so we let the camera roll there. Headed back for Impi now up the river. I needed to check the battery clamps before we depart. The heavy vibrations through rough seas getting here can sometimes cause battery terminal clamps to ease off, and this is a general maintenance thing that I do.
Right, so I'm under the hood again, as it were, and just checking up on our battery clamps. You can see here we have 6 in this compartment, Lifeline AGM batteries. Yeah, it's important, you know, to keep checking the clamps on these things. With the vibrations of the boat, these things tend to come loose, and then one doesn't get the current flow that one expects to get. So it's a maintenance thing. We haven't been totally happy with our Lifeline AGM batteries, I must say. So we're kind of looking at going the LiPo 4 route, but I'm still doing a bit of homework on all of that. I'm not sure totally that we've got beyond the fire thing with lithiums. Hate to have a fire on the boat, but I'm looking into it. A lot of our friends have them and they've had absolutely no problems with lithium batteries, but just something I want to do a little more research on. You can see here we have a lot of wiring comes into one central point over here. So we have the solar panels, we have the alternator from the starboard engine, we have the alternator from the port engine, we have the SSB wire attached to here, the positive, and we have the 2 Victron chargers.
Anyway, enough of all that for now. We download weather grids, we determine the prevailing winds are calming now, and it's not necessary for an overnight departure. And instead now, we leave early hours of the morning for a place that we're looking forward to called Bouquet.
We are sailing here on the inside of a reef, and the barrier reefs in New Caledonia are very diverse. They equal the much larger Great Barrier Reef in coral and fish diversity, and they provide a habitat to a number of threatened fish, turtles and marine mammals. Here we find the third largest population of dugongs in the world, and it's quite funny. Brent will tell you the story of what happened when we saw our first dugong here in Bouquet. So the reef has got an outstanding universal value because of its high diversity of the coral reef ecosystems. Up to this day, new species are being discovered day by day. We sailed past the oldest nickel mine in New Caledonia in Toua. This mine was created by John Higginson and Jules Garnier, and the all-important company SLN, Société Le Nickel, was created in 1880. And so many people don't call Toua Toua, but call it Nickel Town. To run the mines, foreign workforce was invited, and a lot of Japanese workers and Vietnamese people and Indonesians emigrated, as well as forced labor workers from France. And again, when you think of the t-shirt story, Le Tricot Rayé, you see all of these people represented in the big Tricot Rayé family. Sadly, during the Second World War, Japanese were seen as enemies of the state after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and were put in camps in Queensland. This, together with the independence of Vietnam and Indonesia after the war, led to a lack of workers. And so the New Caledonians had to look to other French territories in the Pacific to supplement people, and they turned to Wallis and Futuna. And the people there are traditionally larger than the New Caledonians. This is how they are represented on the Tricot Rayé t-shirt. And so Toua, with its all-important nickel company, SLN, was during the 1980s a stronghold for the loyalists, the people who supported France and who were against the independence of New Caledonia. So many violent acts took place there. Coming back to Bouquet, this particular area is renowned for best protection and beauty. It is named after Jean-Jacques Bouquet, who was a water engineer who lived from 1827 to 1909.
Yeah, she's doing it, man. Thank you, baby. Woo! Coffee is made. Yeah, so we've decided to pull in at Ile to Petit, and a beautiful surrounding. I think I'm going to take the dinghy and visit this little island over here. There's actually an anchorage off there, but they've got some fairly strong winds predicted over the next couple of days, and we want to get down to Moose, the abandoned island dog, to check up on him. So as much as we'd like to hang here, we're not going to hang here.
You won't believe it, but right then we caught a fish.
Well, we didn't get that one on the video, I'm afraid. dolphiny thing? Mantipedes.
So don't blame us South Africans who never see dugongs. We had not considered to find any dugongs here, but apparently there are plenty. Yeah folks, I really must say that this anchorage is absolutely spectacular. It feels unspoilt in every sense of the word, and one's heart quickly finds a deep sense of joy in the beauty of nature here.
Yeah, beautiful bay, and I'm actually smiling because Anna's reading about this fish that we've caught, this type of Spanish mackerel. And I'm not too keen that we eat that fish because I'm saying there could be ciguatera. Anna's now Googled it, and she says the French test for it is to feed it to a gendarme, and if he's fine, then it's safe to eat. Now, I've got nothing against the gendarmes. I think the French gendarmes are fantastic people, but it is rather funny. I mean, obviously somebody's got it in for the gendarme. Another test is to put the liver of the fish near an anthill, and if the ants die from eating it, well, you don't eat the fish. I think we're going to give the fish to a local guy if we can find somebody, and that'll be, they know what to do with it. I mean, they've grown up here, so that's probably the best way to go about this fish. I wish it was a tuna or something that I'm familiar with, you know. Yeah, a very beautiful bay. I must say it's really beautiful. When we arrived here, we actually saw one of these dugongs, and I've tried to shoot it. I'm not sure if it's going to come out. I hope so. But a dugong came swimming out here, and we thought it's a crocodile. We were like, what? There are crocodiles here in New Caledonia? And then up came the big flipper, and it's a dugong, man. And so we had a dugong and a turtle greet us as we came in here, and that's rather special, eh? That's a beautiful place, this. So we need to decide about this fish. Okay, so Anna's decided that our Spanish mackerel goes to the local people over here. She's worried mostly because I'm not keen to eat it. Oopsie, there's blood everywhere.
Well, long story short, took the dinghy to a nearby cove where some locals had set up a tent camp for some land tourists. They were delighted to receive the fish. Probably the tourists were going to be guinea pigs, we don't know. However, the locals advise they eat this fish regularly, and it is the bigger ones that give ciguatera poisoning.
Ah, with the fish?
Not French. New Caledonia.
Oh, New Caledonia. Okay. We're from Afrique du Sud.
Well, the surrounds are spectacular. The little coves are interesting to explore, there seems to be an incredible variety in vegetation. These beautiful trees, the shrubs and splashes of colour, and oh, these beautiful birds happily darting around from tree to tree. It's a great stopover.
I'm getting pizza tonight.
You know, we caught fish. We caught a fish which was very smelly and which you weren't sure about. So we offered it to the locals who are now camping on the shore and barbecuing their fish. And you're having pizza, which I know you prefer.
So I'm not sure if you heard Anna there, because she speaks very quietly. Unlike me, I'm a noisy, I occupy space. But Anna's saying we caught this fish, which became very smelly, and we weren't sure if we should eat it, because we're not sure about that type of fish, a Spanish mackerel, having ciguatera as a result of eating in the lagoon. So we gave it to the local people here because they know whether they could eat it or not, and they said the fish was absolutely fine. They were delighted to get the fish. And they are sitting on the shore. I won't pick it up on the camera, but they're sitting on the shore over here under the palm trees, and they're busy braaiing or barbecuing, we call it braaiing in South Africa, this fish. And Anna's making me pizza, and I think I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with the pizza idea. So no ciguatera in pizza?
No ciguatera.
No ciguatera.
Oignon.
Signor Agnon?
Oignon. There's onion.
Right, Agnon on top of the pizza there. This is going to be nice, love.
Je crois que oui.
Je crois que oui. Ah, merci beaucoup.
Saucisson.
Ah, saucisson. I like my saucisson. Hello. Jalapeno?
Oui, après.
Ah, ouais, après. Jalapeno?
Attends.
Attends.
Voilà.
Ah, attention. Jalapeno. Oh, this is coming together nicely. I'm looking forward to this pizza.
Ok. Et puis le fromage.
Hello, fromage.
Alors ici c'est toujours emmental.
Emmental? Ah, Emmental is a type of fromage, cheese. For those of you who are still learning French, I can teach you this. Fromage is cheese.
Et emmental.
Ah, comme te et Emmental. Yeah,
Two kinds of cheese.
Okay. That's deux cheeses in there.
Deux fromages, oui.
Two types of cheeses. Deux fromages.
Voilà.
Voilà.
Alors maintenant,
Ah,
on a mis
les put oven?
dans le four.
Ouais, four, yeah. In le four.
Voilà. Voilà.
Voilà. Merci beaucoup, Anna.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Oui, Anna. Merci beaucoup.
Je t'en prie.
Oh, Tabasco with my jalapenos. Very nice.
Voilà.
Oh yeah, bon appetit.
Bon appétit.
Not bon appetit, bon appetit. Good pizza, man. What a nice pizza. All good, hey?
Yum.
Thank you, love. Very nice. Ah, oui. Good French pizza, man. Pizza. But guys, take a look at just how beautiful this evening is out here. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I mean, we've got the generator running. We're just charging up the batteries. We're doing washing machines and all sorts of things are busy running. So this is our home, and our power plant has to perform. Otherwise, it would be really quiet out here. We sometimes just switch the genset off to have the peace and quiet. But a really beautiful evening, huh?
Yeah, and folks, please remember our program, Help Us to Help Others, by purchasing goods through our link on the Amazon affiliation program. For every purchase you make with Amazon, there is absolutely no additional charge to you, yet Amazon drops a small percentage with us. Please support us by helping us to help others. Oh yeah, and before we forget, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube. Right, so a little extra here. So those of you who follow our videos, you'll remember Moose, the abandoned island dog, and Guy Kane, the flying vet who helped to treat him. Well, this is one of those fishing escapades that we did to get Moose healthy food as we sailed south. So this is a little extra that we tack onto the end of this video. Folks, we realized too that we were very slow in coming out with this one, and we apologize for that. We actually just sailed into Australia from New Caledonia, and there were many goodbyes and much to do before departing New Caledonia. We will post another vid or two on New Caledonia to finish that tour, and we'll get on to our experiences now in Australia. Well, cheers everybody. Impi out.
And it's like, what the hell? I've got to bullet all of these things, man.